Today we're going to be spending time with an amazing couple, Boris and Monica Serrano. They have been foster parents for about 2 years. They have welcomed a little boy who's 7 months old and a little girl of 18 months old. Talk about people who give unconditionally and love so truly from a beautiful place in their heart. When I asked them what is their passion, Monica said she loves helping the less fortunate. And for Boris, he said that family means everything to him. He loves Monica's family because they love and they are united in all that they do. I believe that this couple are truly heroes because they have just adapted during this COVID-19. Let's hear how they implement the human principles into their work. Boris and Monica, thank you so much for taking time to be with us today. As you know, we here at McKinley have really been wanting to focus and highlight individuals who have been what we call our heroes. I know that there's so much on the news about, doctors and nurses and first responders, but we consider you that for us here at McKinley. So my hope today is that you will share with our audience a little bit about your journey with McKinley and how things have evolved through COVID. So I'm going to start off, and by the way, whoever likes to answer and however you guys want to do this, we will go at what feels most comfortable. So we're going to start off with the first question is, tell us a little bit of how you came to McKinley. How did you guys become foster parents?
McKinley was part of our journey for a second time because the first time we attended one of the presentations, we had a lot of questions, a lot of doubts, not because of McKinley, it was amongst ourselves. When we decided about 2 years ago to give it another chance, we went to the county, attended a class, and they told us that it was going to take about a year to be able to get certified. And we realized that it was too long to wait because we were ready at that time. They gave us a list, and it was too long of a list. So we decided to choose 3 of them just to narrow it down. And when we were driving to McKinley to the presentation, we realized that we had been there before, but we still give it a chance. We still wanted to give it a chance. I says, you know what? It was for a reason we chose it. So we stayed for the class. That's when we met Jill. And she gave an amazing presentation. Mm-hmm. She answered all of our questions. We didn't feel that we were going to be judged or looked down upon because of any questions we might have. And that's when we decided that we were at the right place for the second time around, and we are so happy we did.
Oh, that is beautiful. And you guys have been with us for a couple of years now. How long have you been foster parents?
We became certified in 2018, and last year was our 1-year anniversary, and now we're going on 6 months already.
Well, tell us about these little ones that you have taken into your home and into your heart.
So our first placement were twin boys. We got them in January of last year. They were with us for 7 months. When we first got the call, we were anxious, nervous. All the emotions were into one. And, we were like hoping for one placement, one child. And Lord behold, we got twin boys. So that was an amazing experience. They were with us for about 7 months, and in July of last year, they were placed back with their biological grandmother. So it was an emotional roller coaster because we were, we didn't know how attached we were going to get to the boys. We love them dearly, but they're still in our hearts. Then we got another placement, and the placement for this child was a newborn baby. I believe she was about 4 days old, and she was in our care for just a weekend. Again, she was returned to the family, and again placed with her biological grandmother. Our third and fourth placement is actually we have actually a little girl who is 18 months old. She's an amazing child, And in late February of this year, we got a baby boy who is 7 months now. 7 months now. So we have the little couple. So they're characters. Individually, they are amazing characters. And believe it or not, I know that we are in a very weird situation with COVID-19, but they entertain us. Instead of us entertaining them, they entertain us and make each day an amazing day.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing and for your willingness to open up your home and your hearts and your just who you are. That not everyone could do that, and we realize that. Would you be willing to tell us what's it been like since COVID-19? How has that affected you guys as foster parents, but also just as individuals?
Well, I'm gonna start off first. As a foster parent, it was scary. At the beginning, it was scary because you didn't want to believe what was going on. You heard all these news reports from either social media or on the television. Every channel that you flipped over was COVID-19 everywhere. And then my wife Monica basically started getting information that there were certain supplies that were scattered or very limited, diapers, wipes, formulas, essential needs that we need for a child. And that was scary because we didn't know where we went. We searched everywhere, and they were like gone. So it was a scary moment there for Chance. Thank God for family. And when I say family, it's not just our immediate family, but the McKinley family as well,
Yes.
because they mobilized. They were like, okay, what do you need? How can we help? Here are some resources that we can actually tap into. We can get your formula. We can get you this. So that is a peace of mind, knowing that you're not alone. Same thing with our immediate family. Called us, hey, we're looking for things. What is it that you need? So it wasn't just us going out to the stores trying to get something. It was like a team of souls, trying to search for the things that we needed.
That's incredible. That is so beautiful. How about you, Monica? What has it been like for you as kind of the mom and kind of, I always call the women the chief of staff, how has it been there?
It was scary, like my husband said. It was scary at first because you start thinking, okay, I have these two babies that are my responsibility. I have to be able to provide for them. But at the same time, I not only as a foster mom, but it affected me emotionally and mentally because we are a very tight knit family. We always set aside Wednesdays for our outing with the kids, Sundays to go spend with grandma or my parents, or just immediate family. And now we weren't able to do this. We were in shock that now we were going to be at home, responsible for the kids, responsible in a sense. I felt responsible because I felt like I needed to look out for my parents as well, for my grandma, because they always say that they were the ones that are going to be more at risk. And it just gets overwhelming sometimes because your mind, even though you try to stay positive and think, okay, you know what, we got this. We haven't been through this, but God will provide, and we will get through this. But there is times when you just break down because you're thinking, what's going to happen? I have to also consider biological parents, what they're going through, what they're thinking, what they still want to see their kids because it's a moment of where you want your family. Right. So it was a little bit of a struggle because we wanted to stay safe as a family and keep the kids safe, but also we wanted to comply and say, you know what, we understand bio parents have the right to see their kids as well. So yes, it's been a struggle, but we are blessed with an amazing team. Like you said, not only just our family, but McKinley and friends, and we feel that we're doing good.
Oh, I love that. What positivity. Both of you guys just exude this beautiful, beautiful spirits that you have. Let me ask you, what would you say inspires you to continue to do what you do? As I said earlier, not everyone could do this. I know that you feel very called to be this role for these little ones, but where do you draw your inspiration?
Go, you go first.
Honestly, I get my inspiration from my wife, Monique. She's very passionate. She gives her heart out to no matter what, friends, family. Um, I'll share something kind of funny. It's like when we started dating, um, my father-in-law would share videos, home videos, all the family when when his kids were little and stuff like that. And I always saw her the giver. She was always, basically making sure that everyone was okay. Her nieces and cousins and stuff like that. And as a woman, she's doing the same thing. So she's the one who inspires me as to give. Sometimes, we become a little bit selfish with certain things, but no, she has that tenacity to give. She's the one who says, we need to do this. Someone it needs a little bit of extra help, or maybe a shoulder to cry on. She's that kind of woman, and she's the one who inspires me. And when we first started the journey with McKinley to become foster parents, she was the one who basically gave me the pros and cons, and we here we are. A year and a half later, but she is the one who inspires me to be a better person.
I love that. That's so beautiful. How about you, Monica?
It goes somewhat hand in hand to what he said. I grew up in a family that my dad always said, help regardless of what it is. Um, learn how to have sympathy, not empathy. And that even in we're going through crisis and we are having a battle of emotionally and mentally moments, this is a time where they need us the most. When it's easy to be a foster parent or a parent and just having good moments and knowing, okay, they're going to bring me a child. But moments like these is where you really show your true colors of how much of a human being you are. That they might not be your kids, but if you made a promise when you signed those papers to become a foster parent, like for us, it was a promise of giving them like if they were our children. And if these were our children, we wouldn't leave them and say, you know what? It doesn't go with what my beliefs are or what I'm going through right now. Have them back. That's not having sympathy towards somebody, even though they're kids. And just knowing that the bio parents know that their kids are safe, that's what inspiring me is to be able to protect and care for somebody that they're so little they don't have a choice of where they are, and they're so strong. They still keep growing, they still keep meeting their milestones, they have a smile on their face. So if they can do that being children, why can't we could do the same thing. And like you said, kids brighten up our day every day, and they are inspiration as well.
That's incredible. Thank you so much. I'm curious, you brought up the word strong. One of the things that we're experiencing during this time is that people are really missing being able to go to the gym or to do things. How are you staying resilient? How do you guys find time for self-care, for your own nurturing, to make sure that you're there to show up for these little ones and to show up for each other and for your family? What would you tell me of your resilience?
I want to say that we all have two options. It's either, I always say, it's either being the survivor or the victim. And in these moments, we're all in the same situation. Are we going to survive, or are we going to play the victim? And unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, when you have children or somebody to be responsible for, you can't play the victim. You need to be a survivor, because that is the energy you're sending towards them too, because they sense you. Kids sense how you're feeling. And if you project fear, they're going to feel it. So what we're trying to do is just, we're home. Let's think outside the box. Let's do more DIY hands-on meditating. Our 18-month-old already knows that when we lay down on the floor on the carpet and we put something on our eyes just to go ahead and concentrate, she stays. She stays with us.
We call it a mindful minute. You're having a little mindful moment to just be still and to quiet yourself, and this little one is picking up on that.
Yes. And that's one of the things, that we do have is like, because these children, they don't know any better. They don't know what's going on. They just, think that you're stuck in an apartment or in a house. They were used to going out. So with them, they are the ones who are, making us, think out the box. How can we, basically do certain things, play, read, whatever, even, do yoga, do anything that you want, and meditation does help.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Now, I'm going to throw you a little curveball here, but go with me for a moment. If you had an opportunity to speak to someone who was thinking about becoming a foster parent, what would you say to them? Especially with us at McKinley. If you said, if you're thinking about this in your life, why McKinley? Why is this something good in your life?
I think the why McKinley, because McKinley is a team player. We see how difficult it is to work with social workers in the county sometimes. We don't get response sometimes, or it takes a little bit longer than predicted. And McKinley is always helping us understand the situation. Never leaves us alone. And regardless of whatever question, not even before the COVID-19, prior to that, they have always been there emotionally. A lot of people always ask us, how do you do it when they go home? And the honest answer is it hurts. It does hurt. But knowing that we did something good for those children and we gave them stability and love when they needed the most because it was a confused moment, that right there is kind of balances out the pain. And something I always tell it, I don't know if it's the right thing to say, but I always tell them when we watch TV and we see something in regards to a child that is going through abuse, we always feel sad. Oh, poor child, I can't believe they're going through that. And then we change the channel and forget about it.
Mm.
How about we are part of the solution and give a little bit back and give that child that how can I that love or just open the doors for them to keep them safe. Not just watch TV, feel bad, and then change the channel and forget about it. Let's make a difference. And that's something we always told her. That's what we tell our friends and families or people that we meet.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it is. For me, it's for work. They ask me, what gives us that thrive, to be foster parents, knowing that at one point the child will go back to, either someone in their family or biological parents. And I tell them this: think back when you were a little kid, and what special memory that you have that you always carry in your heart. And they think about it for a minute, and I go, how would you feel giving that memory to a child, not once, but twice, but many times over and over, knowing that that child is going to have that memory forever? That's what we're trying